There are strategies that Pokemon Go players figured out that Niantic never meant for them to know. From spoofing your location to auto-trading Pokemon between accounts, 9000 IQ trainers continue to find ways to bend the rules of the game and advance their accounts at impressive rates. And today we'll look into 9 different exploits that Pokemon Go players have turned into full-blown top strategies. Like one of my favorites and an absolutely incredibly risky one: wild shiny swapping. Did you know that you could turn one shiny Pokemon into a completely different one? Like complete magic, but it comes with a huge risk, and one that high-level players are willing to make, because the reward could just be massive. This exploit can typically only be implemented during special events like community days or spotlight hours or Go Fests. And speaking of Go Fest, if you'll be attending the New York City one this summer, I'll be hosting my own Shiny Luck Tour event happening on the night of August 17th in New York. Tickets are on sale right now, link is in the description. We did this in Vegas, it was an incredible time. We're doing it again in New York, so link down below if you want to pop by it. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so the reason that you have to wait for one of these events like Go Fest to pop up to do this is because of the way the strategy works. When you find a shiny Pokemon in the wild, you basically choose not to catch it. You want to wait for the spawn to change and then click on the Pokemon which will be the shiny version of the new Pokemon. And this is kind of why you need an event. Spawns don't just randomly change all the time in the wild. But during an event like Go Fest, where spawns change every hour, you could find a Pokemon in the wild and find it shiny at the end of hour 1, specifically the end. Then you can flee it, wait for the hour and the spawn and the Pokemon itself to change. And once that happens, you can then tap on the new Pokemon, which is a shiny, a completely different shiny, and maybe the super rare one you're looking for. This sounds great, but there's some risks. For starters, if the shiny Pokemon changes into a Pokemon that doesn't currently have its shiny variant available in Pokemon Go, you basically just lost a shiny. And then also, sometimes it could just despawn. And in that case, you also just lost a shiny. So this exploit is great for turning common, maybe boring shinies into more rare and exclusive ones, but it's not for the faint at heart. Like for me example, I tried this once and didn't work out well. We've got a shiny Darumaka right here, which is a really, really good shiny, but I'm going to flee it, and we're gonna remember which Darumaka it was. It was that one right there. We're gonna wait until unknowns spawn in 7 minutes and pray that Darumaka doesn't despawn, because again, this is shiny Darumaka. This is the trick here at Go Fest, is to find a shiny, wait a couple of minutes until the unknowns, and then click that to get the unknown shiny. We're gonna test it out. And look who despawned right after that clip. It was the Darumaka, dude. Have you ever seen Pokemon Go in landscape mode? If you haven't, try holding your phone horizontally and see if you can do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but when this glitch does, it is incredibly helpful. Although it may make catching Pokemon a little bit harder, it makes the rest of the game a lot easier. You have more room to look around and check spawns. There's a much larger field of view that you have to look at raids, look for Team Go Rocket, maybe Kecleon, which I'm convinced just doesn't exist. Plus Pokemon Go just looks kind of sick in landscape mode. This, in my opinion, should be a feature, not just a glitch or an exploit. Fast opening gifts. If you never knew about this, I'm about to change your freaking life. Now, we all know opening gifts is tedious and just kind of takes forever. Wouldn't the world be such a better place if you could just open gifts faster? Well, you can, due to an exploit. Let me show you how. Okay, so when you open a gift, obviously I got JT Gilly here, I've got a gift floating in front of me. If you press that, obviously it exits out of the gift so that it's kind of out of your face and you can look at your friend and whatever. But the thing is, that X button, that circular X button, does not go away when you open a gift. So if I tap to open the gift, there's another X button there, which I can also X out of. It's in the same place. So when you go in and you press open on the gift, you can actually tap right there where the gift, the X would be, and it fast opens the gift for you. So now you can see the gift is open from Gilly. I can do the same thing for my friend Andrew here. Hit the open button, I press that X or where the X would be. He has a Larvesta, that guy's a cheater, and it automatically and quickly opens the gift for you. Again, with my friend Connor, bam, auto opens it. Super convenient. One of the most important exploits historically has been the Team Go Rocket swap delay. Battling against Team Go Rocket could sometimes be surprisingly kind of hard, especially if you're going up against a team leader or Giovanni. But there's a small and mighty exploit that makes these battles infinitely easier. One that I've used for years. When battling against Team Rocket, there's a slight 2 to 3 second delay in their Pokemon's attacks during certain moments. These moments include when you swap a Pokemon, use a shield, use a charge attack, or when the enemy Pokemon uses a charge attack. After these things happen, Team Rocket's Shadow Pokemon will not attack for 2 to 3 seconds. So if you're trying to be super strategic, especially against a team leader, taking advantage of this is key. How you can do this best is by leading with a Pokemon that does not match up against the first Shadow Pokemon, then swapping into one of your Pokemon that does. This is also why it's super important to use Pokemon that have very spammy charge attacks against Team Rocket, kind of like Lucario with Power Up Punch. Because for 3 seconds after every single Power Up Punch, Team Rocket just won't attack you. I would 100% recommend using this strategy if you are not already. It is fantastic. Roomba! Let's say a new Pokemon Go egg event is here and there's some really cool Pokemon in there you want to hunt, which is very realistic because since remote raids were nerfed into oblivion, the game has only been about eggs. One thing that players have and still do, which is more of a real-life exploit, is Roomba, placing your phone on some sort of house-cleaning robot that will walk around your house or walk your player around your house, which earns you kilometers that will eventually hatch your eggs for you. So if you want to grind some Legend of Zelda but still hatch some eggs on the side, you can do it with this strategy. Speaking of the remote raid pass nerf, this next exploit was kind of nerfed with the passes. Raid apps. This was a strategy a lot of players used to get regionally exclusive Pokemon that were featured in the raids without traveling to the area, and also got new legendary and new shiny legendary Pokemon before they were even released in their area. Apps like Go Raid Party and Pokerade and others allowed players to basically easily connect with each other from around the world, find people and other players to raid with, find raids to raid, and help everyone catch Pokemon from all around the world. Everyone was using these raid apps in 2022, especially when regionally exclusive legendary Pokemon were released. But after the huge remote raid nerf of 2023, these apps have kind of turned into ghost towns, where before it would take hours, even days sometimes, to wait in line to get a raid invite for a Pokemon you're looking for. Now it's hard to even fill a lobby to take down a raid. Players who relied on remote raids and these remote raid apps to get their rare Pokemon have now completely had to readjust their playstyle in Pokemon Go, and many of them unfortunately choosing to just quit as a whole. The next exploit is a subtle and easy one that allows you to refresh your Pokemon spawns. Due to reasons like your internet connection or how old or new your phone is and other factors like that, Pokemon spawns refresh at different rates in your game. And typically, Pokemon will spawn faster than your phone can refresh their spawns. So when you're using something like a daily incense, which can only give you less than 30 spawns a day on it, refreshing spawns as fast as possible is really important. So how you do this is when you're walking around with an incense down or looking for more spawns, open up the Go Battle League or your player profile or your friends list, let it load, and then exit out. This will force refresh your game, which includes all the spawns either on your incense or in the world around you, which again is subtle but can honestly really help when you're out hunting on a time crunch. Auto catchers are a fundamental part of Pokemon Go, but there's technically only one, kind of two sold by Pokemon Go, the Go Plus and the Pokeball Plus. And sort of technically according to the terms of service of the game, all other auto catchers could be considered exploits that are against the rules. Yes, you could technically get banned for using any other auto catcher than the Go Plus or the Pokeball Plus, but these rules are like not really super clear, and other items like the Gotcha exist in a bit of a gray space, where they could be considered illegal exploits in the game, but at the same time, everyone uses them and no one's been banned for using them. But if this is the case and it's so risky, why would anyone use anything else other than the official Pokemon Go Plus? Well, because it sucks, that's why. And other auto catchers have created much more efficient strategies and features in their devices that allow for much higher level play. The Gotcha allows players to catch Pokemon and spin Pokestomps automatically without having to press any buttons. While with the Go Plus, you have to tap a button on the device with every single action, and it vibrates so loudly. I mean, it's quite literally the most annoying device in the history of ever. Good news for Go Plus users is that there's a brand new one releasing in July of 2023 with a ton of new updated features, finally. The main one being the ability for the device to use Great and Ultra Balls alongside regular Pokeballs, which is massive because currently all auto catchers can only use Pokeballs, which obviously have much lower catch rates. But until this new device is released, top players will continue to use the more efficient, more technically illegal auto catchers in Pokemon Go. Now, there is a bit of an extra real-life exploit that players who do use the Pokemon Go Plus and the Pokeball Plus use: rubber bands. What players have done to make these not very efficient auto catchers more efficient is wrap them in rubber bands so that the rubber band is holding down the button on the auto catcher at all times, so the auto catcher is automatically catching Pokemon for them without them having to press it, which is like a nice little cheeky strategy that top players were using before the new auto catchers all came out. Hatching eggs can take a long time to do, and not everyone has the time to do it. So a very clever device was released that allows players to get kilometers for their game hands-free from home: phone shakers. A phone shaker is exactly what it sounds like: a device you place your phone on that rocks back and forth automatically. Now, if you have Pokemon Go open while you're doing this, no eggs will hatch. It will do nothing for you. Like with the sock method exploit explained in the last video we talked about exploits, if you go in your Pokemon Go settings and enable Adventure Sync and then close your game, your phone will automatically detect movement and use that as a gauge to tell Pokemon Go how far and how many kilometers you've walked. So with Adventure Sync on and Pokemon Go closed, phone shakers will make your game think that you're walking when you're really just kind of hanging out at home. So you can hatch eggs without moving. Are there any other exploits that you know of? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the other 2 on screen. They're amazing as well. Have a great time. See you in Vegas or New York. Check the link in the description. Bye.